talk my shit. I got on dick, and she turned around and hit. And I done learned a lot of shit. I had her burn up her brain. I deserve her face. I deserve her. I deserve her. I'm like, how we do your motherfucker?
What's up, guys? This your boy, Mr. I-240. I'm back with another episode today on this lovely day. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. Hey, once again, I always want to say I want to thank the man above, Lord Jesus Christ. Lord Jesus Christ for blessing us to see another day. And I want to also thank y'all for the love that the page can get. I'm going to continue to grind, continue to show. I got a few hot subjects, you know what I'm saying, I would really want to talk about today. You know, some light, some, you know, make you think about, dang, they could have booked it well or whatever. But hey, there's no here or there. First subject I want to talk about is, who's the better heel in the ruthless aggression era? Triple H or JBL? I hate to admit it. Believe it or not, it's going to shock the world. I'm going to go with JBL. JBL was a way better heel than Triple H that year. And it's not that Triple H was a bad heel. It just, we was at that point, we were just tired of Triple H being on top and getting the belt and all this stuff. Because you gotta remember, man, Bradshaw's career was on the line at this point. You gotta remember the APA run was starting to be over with. You know, because him and Farouk came together in 1999 as a tag team, as the Acolytes in the Ministry of Darkness. Then, I don't remember much of their run with The Undertaker. And then shortly in 2000, they shortened it with the APA, where they kick butt, play cards, and drink beer. Hell, they even had their own office somewhere backstage, playing cards, drinking beer. And if you needed their service, you had to pay them to whoop you know what I'm saying? So they even became tag team champions for quite a few times together. But you know what they say, all good things come to an end. And the reason I say JBL was more impressive, and is because, you know, Raw had their top heels. All the top stars was on Raw. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, you know, Chris Benoit. Who was on Raw? Who was on Raw at that point? Triple H, Chris Benoit, Randy Orton, Batista, Ric Flair. Trying to see who else was on Raw at that point. Was Kurt Angle on? No, Kurt Angle was on SmackDown. Who was it? I think I can't remember. If y'all remember all the Raw top superstars that was on Raw at 04, put them in the comments. So, as you know, Eddie Guerrero needed somebody else. Eddie Guerrero needed somebody else to face, another top villain to face on the show. Because you had Brock Lesnar leaving the company, leaving SmackDown. So Farouk was getting ready to leave the company. And then JBL was born. John Bradshaw Layfield was born. Where he was kind of like a bigot, asshole type of guy. He was a, you know, clown, selfish, rich, just like the government, selfish as hell. And he was a prick, pretty much. So he let Eddie Guerrero know he was coming for him. And his first hellish move was Eddie Guerrero just got through competing in a match on a live show where his family was in the crowd Mama in the crowd, family, kids come in the crowd. So as he celebrating with the family, JBL popped up in the ring. Eddie Guerrero trying to get the kids up out the ring. And then he touched Eddie Mama and she faked a heart attack. And he was just very antagonist, selfish, brutal, mean. So, they had the match at Judgment Day, where it ended in like a DQ or whatever. Both guys made each other bleed. Then, the Great American Bash happened. July 4th. Well, not July 4th, but you know what I mean. The Great American Bash happened. JBL became the man. And it was something new. It was something fresh. It was something that we love to see. I mean, it was like I said, we love Triple H winning the belt, but it was at a point Triple H was getting shoved down our throat. You know, it was like, man, why can't you back away from the main event picture, bruh? Yikes. Whew. Like, look how fast Randy Orton won the belt at SummerSlam. And then 3 weeks later, who won the belt again? Triple H. You know, that's why I was like, I mean, he drew ratings, you know. I was happy when Chris Benoit beat Triple H. But we'll get to this. So, JBL beat Eddie Guerrero. Then, where do JBL go from here? But before we get to that, him and Eddie Guerrero had a rematch in a steel cage. They going back and forth. Intense energy. Bouncing him off the cage. Eddie about to win. Then a weird masked man cost Eddie Guerrero the championship. And it was his op, Kurt Angle, who faked the injury from the Big Show, chokeslam him off the cage. Acting like he was hurt. And he was giving Eddie Guerrero a hard time. He's the main reason why Eddie Guerrero ain't WWE champion. So, as Eddie Guerrero has old scores to settle with Kurt Angle, JBL shining, living life, lit. And then the lights go out. The arena get cold. It was his mentor, a familiar face, the dead man. And he wants his shot at the voluptuous undisputed title. Because you gotta remember, Undertaker just came from burying his mentor with cement, Paul Bear. So he had no morals. He had no heart. I think he said in the promo, if I'm able to bury my mentor, somebody I love and really care about, what you think I'll do to you? So, JBL trying to avoid him. And then newly GM, Teddy Long, made the match at SummerSlam. He even poked in front of the dead man with a midget. So, match was set. Undertaker, JBL going back and forth, except one problem. I think JBL got himself disqualified. So he narrowly escaped with the title. Except one problem. The dead man didn't let him go that easy. The dead man beat the hell out of him, beating him up. And then next thing you know, Undertaker, tombstone, chokeslam? I think it was a chokeslam. Chokeslam or a tombstone through the limousine. Now, this was the same night when Randy Orton became the youngest WWE champion against Chris Benoit. Yeah, I said it. He did that. I'm sorry. Look, I know the man killed his family, but we gotta acknowledge his skills. Randy Orton beat Chris Benoit while Triple H was in the mid-card match against Eugene. Whew. All right. So, JBL acting like he injured, hurt from the tragedy, avoiding the dead man. They got a new assistant called Orlando Jordan. He added to the flavor. Then, Teddy Long gave Undertaker one more shot at the title at No Mercy in the last ride match. Where the rules is, it's just like an eliminator match. You get in the back of the thing, and you win. All right. The mind game's been played. Now the dust has to be settled. The match happened. Undertaker, man, beating the hell out of JBL in this match. He getting ready to win the championship, and some new weird dude who I said in a while ago who pre-cum on Michael Cole back. Ryback showed up. Poor Michael Cole. And they trying to make him relevant. And then he got his smoke with Undertaker. This was for Paul Heyman revenge. And JBL go off to the sunset. While Undertaker dealing with Heidenreich from costing him the championship. JBL go against the new SmackDown Hall of Famer who just recently became a face. He made a face turn. The five-time WCW champion, Booker T. Now, Booker got a previous victory over JBL the weeks before, so he wanted his shot in Survivor Series. They match set, they going back and forth. Booker finna get the win, but JBL cheated Booker T to retain. Then, all coming full circle to Armageddon with that great music. Then they come up, the end is near. All that, right? And the reason why the end might be near, because JBL had the belt for almost 5 to 6 months at this point. All his ops came back in full circle. Booker T, Eddie Guerrero, and The Undertaker all wanted the shot at the belt. So you know what Teddy Long did? He made it a fatal 4-way in a classic, underrated Armageddon match in 2004. They all going back and forth. Tombstones, choke slam, axe kicks, clothesline. Undertaker finna get the dub. Wrong. Heidenreich is back. Pre-coming from Michael Cole back. Costing him the championship once again. Then JBL narrowly escaped. As JBL enjoying his accomplishments, his championship, he get a new member. I forgot the little young lady name, and then the Bashams came along. New members to the team. And then he got 2 challenges. Kurt Angle and Big Show at the Royal Rumble. A newly returned Big Show cutting his hair, looking bald-headed, shining, glowing, want revenge, wants the title. They playing games with Big Show. They trying to double team Big Show, beat him up for narrow weeks to come. And I will say, in a narrowly underrated triple threat match at the Royal Rumble, which was an instant classic between 3 guys who wanted to be the best. And JBL wins again. And he moves on to Armageddon. No way out. Except while Kurt Angle move on to Raw to face Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels eliminated Kurt Angle in the Royal Rumble that same night. Yeah. So, While Kurt moving on to HBK, JBL is moving on to Big Show in a barbed wire steel cage match. And no way out. Blood was shed. Bouncing out the barbed wire. He even chokeslammed JBL through the ring. And once again, JBL wins. But except he's meeting the new face of the company, John Cena. Or is he meeting the Royal Rumble winner, Batista from Evolution? In case y'all didn't know, that year Batista won the Royal Rumble and goes on to WrestleMania to either face JBL or Triple H. Then, as meanwhile, on Raw, Triple H playing mind games with Batista like, come on, man, you can go to SmackDown now. Evolution can take over. And then the infamous night came for Batista to make a decision. Raw or SmackDown? He acted like he was going to choose SmackDown. Eric Bischoff looking upset. He telling Triple H, I knew what I was going to do all along. He knew Triple H was full of crap at that point, and he was selfish about him. He powerbombed Triple H through the table. There you have it. So meanwhile, the record is set. John Cena, JBL. From pouring water to JBL head to JBL distant John Cena family. The match happened. And a new star was born. John Cena. And the only reason I chose JBL over Triple H at that point because his reign was impressive. It was more creative. It was new. And plus JBL deserved it. And Triple H kind of at that point was kind of pattern, routine, and the same. So that's why I chose JBL for those reasons. So, this one gonna be short. Subject number 2. This how I would have booked WrestleMania 8. Me personally, I would have booked Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair, because they was both the best of the previous era, and the previous era was pretty much over with, and we was heading to a new era. So we need to kind of like, who's the best between these two on a live television match? That's one. You ain't had to put the title on the line, because you really didn't need the title. But if it was gonna be for the title, and the winner I would have chose was Ric Flair. And plus, because Ric Flair had a difficult run, and his first WWE run was difficult because he was trying to fill Hulk Hogan's shoes, and it was hard to do. And he had to realize he was always gonna be number 2 for us back then. Then I would have booked it Randy Savage, Jake Roberts. Except if I would have known the concept at the time, I would have booked them in a last man standing match. Cause we didn't really get a true ending in that rivalry. It was just like, he beat Jacob. Okay, he won the little match. But he was gonna hit Randy Savage with the chair. And then that's when him and Undertaker, you know how they go. And plus, I would have loved to see Ryder Piper versus Undertaker. I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to see a program like that. It would have been dope to see. Something new, something fresh, something unique. So that's how I pretty much would have booked that. You know, what do I see it Vicious? I don't know. You could have did Sid versus Undertaker. Or hell, Sid versus Jake Roberts. Or hell, they be honest with you, they could have had a fatal 4-way. They could have had Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. They could have had Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Randy Savage, Sid Justice. Who's the best? Fatal 4-way. Who gonna win the championship? They shouldn't have done a 4-way. That'd be dope too. So yeah, that was pretty much on this subject. Oh, one subject I almost forgot. Sure, I forgot to screenshot the picture too. Shayna Baszler WrestleMania moment was stolen from her. And what I mean is, Shayna Baszler was on top of the world heading into WrestleMania 2020, where she was a dominant NXT champion. She dominated. She beat Mia Yim and who forgot who she all beat. But she was having a dominant round. I think she had the belt for almost 200 and something days. I think she beat Io Shirai too. So Shayna was getting a mega push, and rightfully so, because Shayna was hot as fish grease. So as she dropped the belt to she dropped the belt to Rhea Ripley on the episode of NXT in a physical, I think, no DQ match, something like that. So we kind of knew the writing was written on the wall that Shayna Baszler was moving on to the main roster. So she was getting a mega push, because we know at that point it was going to be her versus Becky Lynch, who was pregnant at the time, and we didn't even know about it. So they were pushing Shayna Baszler to the moon. Even had the famous weird scene where she bit Becky Lynch on the back of her neck. So WrestleMania happened. They let Becky win, even though they knew Becky was leaving, which is dumb. Even Becky wanted to put the belt on Shayna because Shayna was over. Shayna Baszler was over at that point. The Queen of Spades, Ace of Spades, whatever that was, well, she still is. She was over. And they just killed her momentum. And she ain't had a big push ever since. Now she's too busy being Ronda's sidekick. Like, Shayna Baszler is one of their best wrestlers, and she just get treated like trash. I think she's better than Ronda as a wrestler. Let's keep that real. She's very, very dominant submission specialist. Like, she reminds me of like a William Regal, Chris Benoit. Very technical sound. She reminds me of like a Bret Hart that works on every inch of the body part. And she was supposed to win that belt against Becky at that Walmart warehouse WrestleMania. She was supposed to win. And y'all gave it to Becky so she can drop it to Oscar to announce to the world she's pregnant. Nah. There was Shayna Baszler moment, and that was her moment. She deserved it. And her career have not been the same since. And they're just being real. I'm just being honest with you. Her career has not been the same. I mean, she's been in title matches and stuff like that, but it's just been lukewarm, and it's just like, once you lose that buzz, you lose that buzz. Once you lose that momentum, it's over. And now she might be in another trash feud with Damage Control because all them heels, and I don't know how they're going to work. So, we'll see. Hopefully, Shayna get that buzz back. Hell, everybody want to see her really fight Ronda, but they ain't going to let that happen. They on some New Day type stuff. We best friends. I love you, girl. We ain't going to do that. Alright. So, another subject. The Game Triple H do not see Sami Zayn as the face of the company. I don't understand, because when Sami was in early NXT, when he finally won the moment, got his championship run, you put the belt on him in NXT when he was a younger, cleaner version of himself. Now, I can understand why. Hell, even Sami don't see himself as the face of the company. He even said in an interview, I'm not Brock Lesnar. I'm not John Cena. I'm not Roman Reigns. But sometimes you gotta listen to your fans, man. Everybody wants Sami to have that moment, man. Ever since Sami had that match with Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania, he showed you he can have a good match and be entertaining at the same time. But I can understand why y'all don't want to put the belt on Sami, especially y'all did it with Saudi Arabia, especially for Sami and his beliefs and his religions. So Saudi Arabia don't play that. So they, just like MVP had to pull out, because Saudi Arabia got their different religious beliefs and all that. But so what if Sami ain't buff? So he ain't strong. He don't do all this, bro. Sami making y'all money. His new t-shirts is selling through the roof. He's drawing. He getting the tickets bought for him. Sami done put in a lot of work to be the face of the company. I ain't saying he got to have a 6-month title reign. I just want him to have his shine, his moment. You got to remember, man, in NXT, he had countless of classic matches with Adrian Neville. After Neville kept on beating him for the championship, and he finally broke through. Hell, he was in that classic fatal four-way match between Neville, Tyson, Breeze, Zayn. Then, His best friend, Sami Zayn, win the championship, celebrate. His best friend came over. He shined. Powerbomb Sami Zayn off the apron. I don't get it. And then Sami Zayn been through so many gimmicks, He been through everything that y'all gave him, and he knocked it out the park. He was a manager for Shinsuke Nakamura. He was looking like Hitler them or something with the hat, conspiracy theories and stuff like that. He made that look good. And then he wasn't even expected to be in the bloodline. And in the pandemic era, you gotta remember this, he had a good Intercontinental title run, even in the classic ladder match between him, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy. So Sammy, time and time again, showed y'all he could deliver. So don't tell me he ain't no face of the company. Because the guy knocks it out the park. Even with an unexpected joining the bloodline. We didn't expect that. Sammy knocked it out of the park. He made it more cool, entertaining, more, Bloodline was serious. We bet, but they needed some new energy. And there was Sammy Brown. And he made that, he put that. It was already over. He just had this little sprinkly sauce on it. Then the dramatic Sopranos storyline. We all knew the heel turn was coming. Who was going to turn on who first? And Sammy shot the first shot. You see how the fans went crazy. Then he attacked Roman Reigns. Fans went crazy. Now we got the match this Saturday. Then we got the great promo of Cody and Sami Zayn having a pep rally, according to the tribal chief. If y'all ain't seen that video on Instagram, that is funny as hell what Roman Reigns said. I want to see you at WrestleMania. The fans, we love Sami Zayn, man. And you mean to tell me that he ain't over? Man, please. Just say you don't want to put that man over because of the religious release. I know at one point you do. Now, if it was Vince, I'd be like, oh yeah, I believe y'all now. Because Vince will hold you back. If you don't look like Brock Lesnar or Billy Graham and Don Morocco wearing G-strings, oh no, you ain't getting no push. No sir. Randy Savage want that big, but Randy did that juice too, and I ain't talking about OJ. But if you ain't got no muscular whatever Vince like, and the only reason he put the belt on Shawn because we were moving on from the steroids era, and Shawn earned it push, and Brett earned it push. But don't tell me Sami Zayn ain't the face of the company when he made out of sugar. Because he done it time and time again. So he really busted to get to this point. If your face of the company, Roman Reigns, like, hey man, my plan is to put Sami Zayn on TV more. This should say a lot. And this coming from the tribal chief who's the face of your company. And then I forgot. Speaking of that, another face of the company, John Cena had the United States Open Challenge. And he made Sammy look good before he got hurt. So Sammy got tools and stuff to be the face of the company. He just need the chance. He just need to shine. Okay, we know Sami Zayn ain't gonna do CBS. We know Sami Zayn ain't gonna do NBC. We know what y'all mean by the face of the company. But everybody ain't gonna be Hollywood. That Hollywood stuff days is over with. And plus y'all going to Detroit in SummerSlam. Get the out of here. What's so hard to sell out about Detroit? They're like saying we're gonna do SummerSlam in Memphis. Memphis ain't that hard to sell out, bro. Especially if you got somebody over. I'm just saying, so don't tell me Sami Zayn ain't the face, and I just gave you various reasons why he is a face of the company. We just want the man. We know he ain't gonna get no 6-month title reign. We just want to see the man win. That's all I'm saying. All right, 2 more points. Two more segments. Woo. According to Jake the Snake Roberts, he said Kenny Omega is a better wrestler than Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. Now, it even got the attention of Ric Flair on his podcast, and he wasn't beefing about it. He was just like, who he asked the dude he interviewed, they do a show together. He said, who it come from? He was like, oh, Jake, another good wrestler. Okay. He said, if Jake said it, then cool. But it had me thinking though. is we saying wrestling wise, resume wise, impact wise. Now, I'm gonna start with the obvious. Now, if we saying wrestling wise, I will give them that because today's guys are more durable, physical, and can go longer. I mean, Kenny Omega wrestled Daniel Bryan for almost 80 minutes on the show, for 69 minutes on the opening episode of Dynamite. And they got more moves and physical attributes and stuff like that. But if we going by resume wise and impact on the culture and his matches made a difference, I got my stat sheet. You hear me? My stat sheet. If y'all disagree after this, put them in the comments. So we're going to start with Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels' rivalries and good matches that he had. And I read Jeff Jarrett, Shelton Benjamin, Mr. Perfect, Chris Benoit, Edge, Mankind, and the classic In Your House match I said something about in the episode. Kurt Angle, who he had 2 classic matches that year. One at WrestleMania in the 30-minute Iron Man match on Raw. Randy Orton. He always had great matches with Bulldog. Always. Owen Hart. John Cena. But we know how the great matches they had. I ain't got to go down to this. Psycho Sid. And a lot of physical battles that people don't talk about. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Diesel. Marty Jannetty. Okay. Now let's go to championships. He's a 3-time WWE champion. 1-time World Heavyweight champion. 3-time Intercontinental champion. 1-time European champion. And 5-time Tag Team champion. And 2-time Royal Rumble winner. Now, if we're going by resume wise, I'm going to have to give it to Shawn Michaels. If we're going by it. After all the accolades I just named, I'll have to give it to Shawn Michaels. Because Shawn Michaels been putting on more classic matches before Kenny Omega was born. I ain't gonna say born, but you know what I mean. Shawn Michaels never had a match that disappointed. Never. Alright. Now, let's go with Ric Flair. Rivals and guys he made look good. Shane Douglas. Ultimate Warrior. The Big Show. His party buddy, Andre the Giant. NWO. And he had to take a lot of shit for the NWO run. Whew. Poor Rick. Jerry Lawler. Bob Orton. Randy Orton. Vince McMahon. The Great Muta. Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Undertaker in that WrestleMania Classic in WrestleMania 18. Another classic with his former best friend, with their best friend. Arn Anderson in Fall Brawl 1995. Bret Hart. Mick Foley. The World Wars. Rick Rude. Mr. Perfect. Terry Funk. Vader. Shawn Michaels. Triple H. And him and Macho Man never disappointed. Macho Man Randy Savage. Piper. Harley Race. Lex Luger. Ricky Dragon Steamboat. Hulk Hogan. Dusty Rhodes. And of course the man he put over, Sting. Let's see. Championship stats. 16-time Royal Rumble winner. 3-time tag champion. 1992 Royal Rumble winner. Former Intercontinental champion. And 3-time tag team champion. Alright. Now, Kenny Omega. Alright. So, rivals. Pac. Okada. Kushida. Michael Elgin. Cody Rhodes. Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, and his best friend Kota Ibushi. Now, Kenny Omega do have an impressive resume. I would give that for his championship status. He's the AEW champion. He's the AEW Tag Team Champion with Adam Page in a luxurious run. He's currently the Trios Champion. He's a former Impact Champion. He's an IWGP Heavyweight Champion, IWGP Intercontinental Champion, two-time IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion. So my thing is, now if we're going by skill sets, yeah, he better than both of them, of course. Most definitely. They're more durable, they do more moves these days. But if we're going by resume, no. So my resume will be Shawn, Kenny. It'll still be Shawn, Flair, and Kenny. If we're going by if we're going by impact, if we're going by impact and rememberable rivals and stuff like that, Kenny gonna be third for me. That's just me personally. Now, if we talking about just pure wrestling, yeah, I give it. Kenny is the better wrestler. But if we talking about impact on the culture and make a difference maker and stuff like that, I feel like, for me personally, Kenny haven't had the impressive resume to say he's a better wrestler than those two, than all them rivals I named out both of them got. Because Kenny's list was kind of short. It was impressive, but he hasn't made an impact like those two. And my final subject is Roman Reigns will have tied Triple H in WrestleMania main events. Now, I will say this. I'm telling you what both guys got in common though, and I just thought about that. They have had some lackluster main event performances at WrestleMania. Now, okay, Roman Reigns' first main event with Brock Lesnar was good. Okay, I get it. It was good. Roman Reigns against The Undertaker was kind of trash bag juice. And it wasn't on Roman Reigns that it was. Okay? I think Roman's third main event spot was against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That match was kind of, alright, cool. Alright, it was straight. We knew Brock was going to win. We thought Brock was going to lead the company and Roman was going to shine. Let me see. Then after that, I think Roman main event against Triple H. And that match, didn't nobody care. It was just like, alright, bro, we just ready to get this over with. I'm trying to see after Triple H main event. Who did Roman main event against WrestleMania? And even that recent main event with him and Brock Lesnar, that match was kind of trash. So some of his WrestleMania main event matches have not been just fine. I mean, it's now him and Cody gonna be a classic. That's for sure. Then you got some of Triple H main event matches. Okay, the jump with Benoit, that was good. Like I said, him and Roman was kind of, The Fatal 4-Way in 2000, that was lit. I will give him that. And let me see, the jump with him and John Cena, that match was just boring. So, I mean, as much as they both accomplished being in the main event, but both of their main event matches have not delivered. A lot. Quite a few have not delivered. So, congratulations on the Tribal Chief tying Triple H. But I will say this, Roman Reigns will have more classic main event matches than Triple H. But let's just look. If you look at all them matches between the both of them, as main event, WrestleMania matches, most of them matches have been lackluster and garbage. But with that being said, I'm out. I'm finna edit this bad boy. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.
Just let me talk my shit.